5,280 feet above sea level, and your backs can still be up against the wall. The Denver Nuggets, they'll have to play at a mile-high level in Game 6 if they're going to force that Game 7. OKC has a trip to their first conference finals since 2016 on the line, and as SGA's coach said following Game 5, as the pressure mounts, it gets hotter in there. The MVP favorite somehow, he gets even cooler. But that man right there, still the reigning MVP, and you know he's not going down without a fight. Nikola Jokic has staved off elimination 9 times before. There's a reason, Perk, that 2 years ago he said, don't bet against the fat boy. We're counting you down on ESPN.
Said that?
He did say that. A couple of MVP frontrunners on the floor, a couple of MVPs in my heart right in here in studio with me. Bob Myers, Kendrick Perkins.
Look at Bob blushing.
I'm Malika Andrews.
Don't get compliments. Take it.
Well, don't worry. Stephen A. will be here in just a little bit, a matter of moments. But let's get the show started, my friends. It's time now to see who's made for more, brought to you by Hennessy. The Thunder, they proved what they were made of in Game 5. Despite trailing by 8 points heading into the final frame, they kicked it into gear over the last 12 minutes. They outscored the Nuggets 34-19 down the stretch. Despite shooting just 4 for 21 from deep this series, look at SGA right here. He knocked down a monster triple with under a minute to go to ice the game. He finished with 10 of his team-high 31 points in that fourth quarter. And this series has it's been decided by late-game situations. In games 1 and 3, the Thunder, they struggled down the stretch, losing both games in clutch time. But that's flipped over the last 2 games, outscoring the Nuggets by 20 points in clutch time. And now they hold a 3-2 series lead. Perk, what's been the difference in their late-game execution?
Well, it's been the growth and the trust, the leadership of SGA, right? And look, growing of being able to get yours, trusting others, and making guys around you better. And that's what we saw, especially late game, last game. We see Isaiah Harden, Chet Holmgren screening the zone right there. The eye contact with him and Isaiah Hardenstein drawing 3 people right there. Just because it's your play doesn't mean it's your shot. Here it is again, SGA attacking. Jamal Murray, he comes in trap. Guess what? Now, quick swing, put your defense in rotation. Isaiah Hardenstein screens Jokic so that he can't even get out there to contest J-Dub's shot. All of a sudden, you see beautiful basketball and the trust of others at home outside of SGA knocking down big shots.
These series, Perk, Malika, they swing on the tiniest things. Both those highlights, the score was tied. And you saw huge shots that the Thunder made, which makes me believe that was the game. That was the game, Game 5, and the Thunder got it.
It's all in the details, and that's the growth of a young Thunder squad. As promised, Stephen A. joins us now. There were plenty of doubters.
Did you miss me? Did you miss me?
Stephen A.
Yeah,
No. Don't.
Did. Well, Perk and I did. I can't speak for Bob Myers, but maybe Bob
misses
is.
Me more than anybody.
I don't know whether or not Stephen A. Bob was one of those maybe doubters, because there was certainly doubt flying around about this Oklahoma City squad and what it took to win close games, particularly in these pressurized playoff atmospheres. But 2 wins later, do you have any questions left about this team?
I still have questions about them. I mean, I love the fact that SGA basically has recorded about 19 points or 50% shooting over the last 2 fourth quarters. I love the fact that they're in fast break points. The Thunder have outscored the Denver Nuggets 111-57 in this series. The fast break points is 95-52. I'm sorry. Points off turnovers was 111-57. Those are things that are advantageous for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We understand that. But still in all, even though SGA has been that dude, you still do find yourself wondering at times, as the game wanes, we all know what Jokic is going to do. We've seen what SGA has done over the last 2 games, a couple of the previous games before that. Not so much. You're waiting for that secondary piece on Oklahoma City to stay up and be a consistent, reliable source for the SGA to lean on. We don't know whether or not that definitively exists, whereas we know that with Jamal Murray. And so I look at it from that standpoint, and I say to myself, okay, it's enough confidence to believe that Oklahoma City is going to win this series. But is it enough confidence that you should have to feel like they're going to win tonight? I don't feel that way.
Yeah, look, in my mind, they answered a lot of questions in Game 5. They can answer all of them tonight. Will they? I don't know. This is going to be a fascinating game because you're going against a bunch of champions. You're going against, if Shea's the MVP, then Jokic is the next guy, and he's a multiple-time MVP. He had 44 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in Game 5. He has not had a great series, and the Oklahoma City Thunder still won. Lou Dort hit 3 huge threes. This game Denver was controlling this game for most of the game. What I saw the Thunder do, Malik, in the fourth quarter made me believe they were composed. They made the big shots. If you would have paused that game with 6-7 minutes to go, I would have said, this is why we have questions about the Thunder. I'm not sure, but they answered a lot of those in the last game.
Malika, how deep is the Pacific Ocean?
About 14,000 feet at its average depth.
Really? Was this?
Yeah, the Thunder is deeper than the Pacific Ocean, and that's what this
Just say they're deep.
But this is why they're winning games, Bob, and you know this because it's at one moment we're watching Alex Caruso change the game. The next minute, we're praising Cason Wallace. The next minute, all of a sudden, Luke Dort's having his moments. And these are not moments that are happening in the first or second, third quarter. These are moments that are happening in the clutch time. Like, I could recall a James Posey hitting a big shot in the fourth quarter. I could recall Eddie House hitting a big shot in the fourth quarter. Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP over Steph Curry. Yeah. No knock on Iggy. Yeah. I believe an all-time great, all-around player. But again, when you talk about the others in the depth and you see what OKC can provide, they can hit you in so many ways from so many different people.
And playing against a team that doesn't have any depth.
And might have even less tonight because Jamal Murray is, Stephen A true game-time decision. He is ill, and interim head coach David Adelman here says that truly it's going to be a decision that is going to be coming up to before tip-off if he's able to even go in this game.
That's devastating news right there, and the reason why is because Denver is devoid of depth. This ain't the year they had Bruce Brown coming off the bench to help them along with various others. Your starting five is pretty much what you're relying upon. We looked at Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. Games 1 and 2, he was absolutely fabulous, 18.5 points a game on 50% shooting. But games 3 through 5, the man is averaging 6 points on 22% shooting. That ain't going to get it done. So he's going to have to step up. If you got Jamal Murray tonight, he's going to have to step up. Not that you're anticipating he's going to give you what you know Jamal Murray can give you, but he's giving you an additional body that could be out on the court for you, being productive. If he pulls that off, then all you're asking for from a Michael Porter Jr. or an Aaron Gordon is for them to step up offensively. If Russell Westbrook can't give you anything, then you're asking for them to do a whole lot more along with Chris Braun because they have no help from their bench. So he's going to be pivotal in the game tonight.
This game means so much to the Denver organization and this series. How this game finish, if they lose, this game in this series is probably going to break up their happy home. Let's be real here. Like, we already done seen Michael Malone get fired. We watched the general manager get fired. Yeah. You're not going to stay the same when you have an all-time great, the best player in the league. Bob, you said this time and time again. When you have a guy like Steph Curry, when you have a guy like Jokic, every single season is your responsibility as an organization to surround them with the pieces that he needs to actually go out there and be a legit title contender.
It's one thing to not win a championship. It's another thing to not get to the conference finals. And that's what they're facing if they lose for 2 years in a row, not going to the conference finals.
And to Stephen A's point, relying on an Aaron Gordon who's had his calf injury and on Michael Porter Jr. who's been dealing with the shoulder has also been, they're relying on people who are a little bit beat up as well. We'll be right back. We got a lot to get to, but we have a full hour-long show to break down